Hello, everyone. Thanks for joining. Today's presentation, I'm giving you a overall overview of Canadian immigration system so you can understand what opportunities you have for you and your family to be Canadian citizen. My name is Zia Naqvi, and I'm a regulated Canadian immigration consultant licensed by the Government of Canada to provide you with Canadian immigration advice and present you in front of the government departments for you any potential immigration application. We are located in Toronto, Canada, and working here from here since 1998. Uh, this is a map of Canada. Canada is the biggest country by land, most likely in the world. It has a federal system, federal government, and it has provinces like you can see from in the map: British Columbia, Alberta, Saskatchewan, Manitoba, Ontario, Quebec. Those are the provinces. It has about 11 provinces and territories. So from the immigration perspective, the immigration program can be devised by the federal government or the provincial government. I'll explain that further. Canada has been ranked among the very top of countries of the world, like sometime first, second, third, among the top five most of the time, and from various aspects. So it's a very sought after country, and it's a worth to make it home and bring your family to Canada and become Canadian citizen. Um, because as I mentioned, it's a leading country globally. It has the highest passport rating, a universal health care, primary education is free up to high school, and university education is also sponsored for Canadians. Like government gives you enough loan, interest-free loan to complete your education. And from a United Nations Human Development Index perspective, Canada again is it stands at very top. So making Canada your home, bring your family to Canada, is an excellent return on investment that you could have done. Uh, there are different immigration initiative, but what you need to understand is that there are programs, like there are uh, um, programs that are made by the Canadian government to for the people to apply for immigration. Those programs are all have a name and a owner, meaning some programs are devised by the federal government and some programs are by the provincial government. So every program would have a title and eligibility requirement. Eligibility requirement means like what credentials you need to have to be to qualify for that program, and it has a defined steps and procedures, and what you get at the end is known. So my advice is that understand the immigration program that you are applying before you apply. So you need to understand the eligibility. You need to understand the name, who is the owner, is it a federal program or in provincial program, and what are the eligibility requirements, what you need to have to be eligible on that program, and what are the processes and steps, and what will you get at the end. Are you going to get the PR, or are you going to get the temporary residence, or what? You need to understand that, okay? So Uh, for that matter, you have to be very vigilant. You have to be very careful. There are a lot of unauthorized people who are not actually licensed to provide immigration advice from the government of Canada, and they try to lure people saying that, okay, we can do that, we can do that, like false promises, but you have to be very careful. So government of Canada has established a college of immigration consultant in Canada, CICC, who regulates and provide, governs all the code of conduct that we must adhere to. So I and people like me are licensed by the government of Canada to provide you with the immigration advice. And it's illegal to provide immigration advice for a fee if you are not a regulated Canadian immigration consultant and fully licensed and fully, valid license at the moment of, at the time of providing the advice. If you do that with an unauthorized person, you are liable and your application could be rejected and you could be deported from Canada, even if your visa was approved and you have already arrived in Canada. So that serious. Another thing is that whenever you deal with someone, you can always verify. Like, and you can go to CICC's website and put my name, Zia Naqvi, and you will see that I'm a member in good standing with the College of Immigration Consultant of Canada and fully licensed. And whoever you deal with, you always check which program we are talking about, which and how do I qualify, what is the process, and what I will get at the end. So those are very important things that you have to be very vigilant for. Number three, or the last one, is that if someone is saying, oh, I guarantee you that you will be successful and all that, it's illegal to say that. So that's actually a warning sign. You should avoid people who are making false promises. Remember, we consultant as a representative, as a law representative, would be submitting your application to the government of Canada. If I say that I guarantee, what I'm blaming on the government of Canada, that they will approve your application, which is wrong. So on the merit and on the professionalism, I will make your application and submit to the government of Canada, and they will approve or not. It's up to them. So it's illegal to say that I can approve your application. Nobody can approve your application. You need professional help, expert help to prepare your application and submit it in professional manner, so the chances of your success are very high because you have checked all the check marks, you have met all the eligibility criteria, and you have presented your case to the government. That's what our role is, okay? So remember that. So now, what are the categories? I'm giving you a high-level overview of everything, so you understand the whole system of Canadian immigration. So you would not be bluffed by anyone after understanding all those fundamental things. So, what are the categories? There are two broader categories of Canadian immigration. One is the permanent residence and other is the temporary residence. Once a permanent residence is when you come to Canada for a permanent residency, meaning you want to become Canadian citizen and have a Canadian passport and make Canada your home. That is your intention coming to. Like, obviously it takes time to make Canada your home, but when you come, your intention is permanent. So any visa that actually allows you to remain Canada permanently is called permanent residence visa. And the other category is temporary residence. As the name suggests, your intention is temporary. No matter how long, but your intention is temporary, like you want to go back ultimately. So as a student coming back, coming to Canada, worker or visitor. But that is not our topic today. So I'll go back to the permanent residency. And within the permanent residency, there are three categories. One is economic. Those are the immigration programs which are driven by the economic factors that benefit Canada and the immigrant economically. The other one is the family class, where one Canadian marries to a non-Canadian and it wants to sponsor his or her spouse into Canada. So the family class, spouse, dependent children, parents, grandparents, all those fall into family class. The third one is the humanitarian and refugee class, where the government of Canada has obligation under the United Nations to provide permanent residencies to people who don't have any country to live or who are oppressed and refugee around the world. It could be a UN declared refugee or a refugee on his personal or her personal own being. And there is another humanitarian and compassionate grounds applications. But those are not our topic either. So our topic essentially is economic. And in the economic, there are two separate subcategories. One is the federal skilled and semi-skilled professional, young professional, which is very popular. Everyone knows about that. Or express entry. This is express entry. But express entry is mostly for people who are young, highly qualified, experienced, and very like have a English level skill of advanced level. So we are not talking about that either. Okay. So what we would be talking about is the provincial nomination programs or provincial immigration programs. And under the provincial nomination programs, I have categorized them in three different categories. One is the entrepreneur, the other one is skilled. So the entrepreneur are the people who want to come to Canada and establish a business, entrepreneurship. So they establish their own business or they establish a business under a provincial program to gain Canadian citizenship for them and for their families. The other category is where it is the for the people who want to come here as an employee of a company and the employer sponsored them for the Canadian immigration. And the third category is that there is no employer, but a skilled worker is picked by a province and give them a priority based on their technical skill or their profession or something like that. So there are three provincial categories that I'll be talking about is one is you come here to establish a small business. Number two, you come here on a sponsorship from an employer as an employee, or a province pick you up based on your previous experience. Those are the three categories that I'm talking about here. So, sorry. So there are some misunderstandings that you need to understand before you make any move to Canadian immigration. And that are very like a lot of I speak to a lot of people around the world, and they sometimes think that if they come to Canada on visit visa for any temporary reason, somehow, if they stay here for a long period of time, they will be given an opportunity to become Canadian permanent resident and ultimately Canadian citizen. There is no such thing as automatic PR. If you came here as a temporary, turning into PR and would need your qualification and eligibility again for a permanent resident program. So before you think like that, just be cautious that there's nothing like automatic PR if you come to Canada. Now, what are the criteria of eligibility? Eligibility for the entrepreneur program is investment. So there are investment programs which requires a minimum of $100,000 investment into your own business. You are not giving that money to anyone. You are investing that money in your own business in Canada from your own bank account and spending it on your own business investment. Remember that. So that's the minimum amount for the self-sponsored entrepreneur class. And the employer sponsored, obviously you don't need the investment, but you need a valid job offer from an approved employer. And the provincial nomination, you need to be selected by the province. So once we see that you are eligible or not, for example, this I will explain a bit later. This is the process, one of the processes of provincial PNP programs, and this is the entrepreneur business category business plan that we submit. So those are detailed, and we can explain that separately once we figure out that your chosen program is the entrepreneur program. We can go into that detail with you. So my point is that if you are not in the express entry potential, like you are not young, like under 35, and high educated, like a Canadian master's equivalent of a Canadian master's degree, and your English is not super high level, and but you are experienced, you are mature, you are either a experienced professional or a business owner, you still have a last chance to move your family to Canada besides the express entry based on the provincial nomination program I just explained. So, who we are, Impro Canada Immigration Services, we have been established in Ontario, which is the province of Canada, where Toronto is since May 1998. And we are fully licensed by the Government of Canada to offer guidance on immigration issues, registered with the College of Immigration and Citizenship Consultants of Canada. We are also designated advisors for US EB-5 immigration program for regional center located in New York, USA. And we are also approved advisor for global investor immigration program. So we specialize in high net worth individuals who want to migrate based on investment. And obviously, we are authorized to represent clients for various visa types to Canada. So, why us? The success of our clients is as our driving force. So, navigating, we have 26 years of North American professional experience to navigate you through the Canadian immigration system to make you successful. And we are experts in business feasibility planning and management, project planning, investment, financial and risk management, and immigration settlement planning, assessment of Canadian provincial and territorial economic priorities, and obviously the immigration law. So you are in safe hands. So we have a lot of opportunities for you. And what we do, we evaluate you first, free of charge. That's the key. The most like the what is the trick that people try to lower you? without confirming your eligibility. They just want you to apply for something and give them the money. We don't do that. We offer you a complete evaluation of your circumstances and how circumstances to figure out that if you qualify for any program or not. That is the key. Okay, we are not charging you money before we figure that out. So what is our strategy? Do you qualify? That is our first target. Do you qualify for any program that I have mentioned? Any program has an input, process, and output. Huh? So we do not sign you up. That's the key. Okay. We do not sign you up as a client or charge you any money until we make sure that you qualify for at least one Canadian immigration program. If you are not, we are not going to sign you up, and you don't waste your money, and we'll guide you no matter what. Huh? So we explain, and once that happens, if we think that you are qualified for an immigration program, you and your family, then we will explain everything upfront and answer your questions to your complete satisfaction before we sign the service agreement. Okay, so this is how we proceed. Now, how do you contact with us? Just send a WhatsApp message or an email to this number directly to me, and I will get back to you, and we will schedule a time where you can ask your questions. I would evaluate you and your situation, your family situation, and advise you the best immigration program if there is any. If there is none, if you don't qualify for any program, I'll let you know that don't waste your time, don't waste your energy. You would not get anywhere because all the reasons. But if you qualify, I'll let you know you qualify for this program. This is the program, this is the eligibility factors. That's why you are qualified, and that's why we are willing to take you as a client and present your case to the Government of Canada Immigration Department. Okay, so just note it down. I'll just put that on the chat as well, so you can have it on your computer. So by the way, the 64. So this is my WhatsApp number. 1-647-786-2240. This is where you can have a WhatsApp message to me. I would have to schedule. I cannot pick up every call, so I have a lot of calls. But if you leave a message, I'll definitely, my staff will contact you and schedule a time with you. Or you can send me an email at here. Okay. So I hope you have enjoyed. You would be benefit from today's presentation. And that's about it for today. If you have any question, you can raise your hand. I can answer that here, or you can book an individual consultation and we can talk in detail individually as well. So I'll just give you a minute to think about any question that you can have right now. If not, we are
I
ending this.
joined it very, very late. I couldn't attend in the very beginning. So if
Mm-hmm.
you don't mind, can you just go back a little bit for the programs? Like how many programs do you offer? Is there any kind of pre-selection list there, etc.?
No, what did you say about the list? Sorry.
Is there any pre-selection or requirements
Oh,
for the candidate to be selected?
Yeah, yeah.
What are the rest of, yeah, please, if you don't mind.
Yeah,
Thank
so
you so
I'll just
much.
briefly go over like these the immigration programs. These, just one second. Yeah, so these are the Canadian immigration visa types and the programs. Each program has a eligibility criteria, each
Yes,
program, and has a step-by-step process and outcome. So that's where you need an expert to evaluate your situation. Okay, as if you have some symptoms, you go to a doctor, and doctor figures out what is the what how to best treat that.
correct.
So yeah, you cannot self-evaluate everything yourself. You need a guidance, and I'm providing that guidance to you free. Okay, so I would actually ask all those questions that would be like your input criteria for all the programs. So once I evaluate you, I would evaluate you for the every program available in Canadian immigration system and let you know which program you may be qualified for and why and how. Does that answer your question? Sorry, you are mute if you are saying trying to say anything.
I'm so sorry, I was muted. Yes, yes, of course.
Yeah,
Yeah.
okay.
And just one question, sir.
Mm.
Temporary residency from students, worker, visitors, whatever. Is it possible? Like, I'm not sure if I will like that state or the province that I am going to. If I want to make a visit and then I want to shift to a um, uh, to take a PR instead of a TR. Is that
Mm.
possible from Canada itself? I
Yeah,
want to
so
check
yeah,
which I
so
mean, which
I have it.
provincial place
Yeah.
is better for me. For example, I want to visit Ottawa or Vancouver or Alberta. I want to check what is the best for me. So
Mm.
this is my point.
Yeah, so that's some people want to visit and explore Canada before applying any program, and that is very legitimate, no problem. But remember, no matter if you are in Canada or you are not in Canada, okay, you have to qualify for a program to apply in. Okay, so I'll give you a scenario. You come here as a visitor, and then you like Canada, and you think that you can apply for a permanent residency. Okay, you can do that, but you miss that part that some people have a misconception that once they come here in Canada and because they are in Canada or they have lived here for some time, there is an automatic process or they become eligible for permanent residency. That does not happen. Okay, so
Um,
you have to qualify for a program still.
so yeah, I understand, but inside Canada, or I have to go out from Canada and then restart again.
No,
Like, can I contact you when I am inside Canada?
yeah,
Like I
yeah,
said,
yeah, yeah.
Mr.
Both
Zia,
are possible. Both are possible. What I'm saying, there is not an automated process that you become eligible because you are in Canada, and that does not
Mhm.
happen. But being in Canada does not disqualify you for PR program either. So if you are in
Mhm.
Canada, you are still our client.
All right, okay.
Okay.
Amazing.
Okay. Any
And
other
regarding the entrepreneurship and self-sponsored, what is the difference? I may
things?
have a business, like kind of a registered company, but not yet operational, or it is supposed to be operational first. And
Yes. Yeah.
self-sponsored, am I supposed to have a bank deposit that should cover my living in Canada? This is what it means. If you have any definition for that.
Yeah, so the entrepreneur means that the process of the entrepreneur immigration process is that you apply for immigration based on your business plan that you will come to Canada and invest in your own business. Okay, so they give you visa based on that. So you come here with a business plan, and your business plan is a promise. So the government or provincial government would sign an agreement with you, and the agreement is always two-side promise. Huh? One side, your promise is that you will implement a business plan, meaning you will set up a business in Canada, and the other side promise you to give you the permanent residence if you do that. Okay, so they will give you visa to come here and do all that, but they do not give you the permanent residence yet. Okay, so your business plan says that I will invest $100,000. So that money they would not take from you. You will come here first, bring your own money into your own account. Nobody, you are not giving that money to anyone at any stage. And you will implement the business plan in Canada and invest your own money in your own business with your own hands. Okay, and once you do that, you will show them that this was my business plan, and that's how I implemented, and I have invested that in initial investment, a minimum $100,000. Now give me the permanent residence, and they will nominate you for the PR. That's how it works. By that time, almost 1 and 2 years has passed. You have established your business. You have established your family in Canada. If you have children, they are going to school, universities, whatever, on temporary basis. But you have a promise to PR if you have invested and established your business as you promised. Clear?
Okay, clear, yeah, clear.
Any other question?
Um, Regarding the process, how much time it takes, if you don't mind? Like, if we start, I am eligible, you say, Hajar, go ahead, you are eligible, you are qualified. Let's start the process. Technically speaking, what is like the average period of time that I can close all the
Okay, I got your question.
end-to-end process?
So, Ab's iPhone, I can see that your hand is raised. So, can you tell your questions so I can answer both the questions maybe together?
Hello, Assalamu alaikum.
Walaikum assalam.
If someone want to have a one-to-one session, how much it costs? Any
I,
the one-to-one personal, any consultancy?
yeah, that's what I'm saying, that I'm providing that free of charge.
Okay, so if we try to reach you and have a personal session one-to-one,
Yeah,
so it will be free of charge, right?
yeah.
So the
What is,
initial assessment will be the free, right?
yeah,
This
yeah,
is what
that's why
you
I'm
have
saying
mentioned.
that if you do not qualify for any program, we do not charge you anything. We
Okay.
first evaluate you and your family situation, and then what is your name?
This is Muhammad, and with me, Mr. Mubashir is also with me. So we joined from the same phone.
And where are you joining?
From Riyadh, Saudi Arabia.
Yeah, okay.
We are living in Saudi Arabia. We are from Pakistan, and we are living in
Oh,
Saudi
yeah,
Arabia.
okay. Yeah. Because this seminar is happening almost all over the Gulf
Yeah.
states. So anyway, yeah. So there are two questions. One question I have already answered. So I have provided that WhatsApp contact information. Send me a message on that we want to have a one-on-one session, and I will schedule a time with you, and we will talk about your particular situation. Mohammed, is that okay?
Yeah, that's great. But just I have another question. Sorry,
Mhm.
Ms. Hajar. Yeah.
Mm.
What is your fee? Or you will give us the fee after the evaluation?
Yeah, Canadian immigration has over 100 programs. Okay, so
Okay.
today I cannot tell you which program you may be fit in, or
Okay.
if you fit in any program or not,
Yeah.
and what is your situation. Based on that, so we provide you a complete list of fees, expenses, and everything in writing before you
Okay.
sign up.
Great,
Our
great. Okay.
contract has all those details that you may need.
Yeah, fair enough. Thank you. Thank you.
Okay, so just send me a quick WhatsApp message and we'll connect.
Sure, sir. Sure.
Okay. Now,
Okay.
Hajar, the answer to your question that how long does it take? As I mentioned, there are hundreds of programs and hundreds of application types. The government of Canada has a website telling you currently which program is taking how long. Okay. So for example, let's take a very basic example, visitor visa application. So if you Google IRCC processing time or Canadian immigration processing time, so it will take you to government website and it will actually tell you, it will ask questions. Okay, which type of visa have you applied? You say visitor. From where have you applied? You say, where are you? If you are in Saudi Arabia, for example, you would say Riyadh. So it will exactly tell you in a visitor visa from Riyadh how long it's taking today. It changes as well. So once you apply for any, remember all the preparation, application preparation, until the application is not in yet, your processing time has not started. So every application has a different time frame. So but I can tell you which you cannot hold me responsible because government processing time do change depending on how many applications they have, how many staff they have at that visa office or the embassy. So for an entrepreneur program, it takes one about 1 year, and 1 year, 6 months to 1.5 year is the ballpark number for every permanent residence program. Permanent residence, it takes longer. For a temporary residence, 2 months to 6 months is a
So
ballpark number.
maximum is 1 year.
Permit?
For the PR, maximum is 1 year.
No, there is no maximum. No,
Oh,
no,
okay.
no maximum because sometimes some applications may take longer because
All right.
that particular embassy has too many applications and they don't have their staff. Then what you can do? So that's why it's 6 months to 1.5 year is the most of the applicants go through.
There is no way like I can pay more for a sorry to
Expedited, no, no,
yeah, no,
no.
no extra
The
fees
the
make
best
the
way is to start as soon as possible. If you are in hurry, so don't sit
mm,
on your thinking too long. Just start your process. So once you are in, you'll be out.
okay. The PR it should be given immediately if I am selected, everything is fine, like from day one, or I have to wait until I get the card, the permanent residency card, etc., etc.
No, it depends on the program you apply. Some programs allow you to have the permanent residence status as soon as you land in Canada from day one.
Okay.
But some programs do not allow that. Some programs want you to come first and then given you the permanent residence.
Okay. What if like the program I'm selected, I went to where the program is. For example, it is in Alberta, but I didn't like it. I want to move to another province or state like Vancouver or Ottawa or Montreal. Is that possible? Or if I'm stuck there, if I am choosing that, or if I am selecting one program, so I will be stuck for the rest of my
Yeah,
life in that
you know what?
place.
Yeah, the thing is that generalized answering these questions is difficult because that would be wrong. It is possible and it is not possible. For some program it is possible, for some program it is not possible. Some programs is practically like legally possible but practically impossible. So what I would suggest is strongly that if you have the initial willingness to migrate to Canada, you book individual consultation with me, which is free, and we can go over your particular situation. Then we can iron out or actually narrow down the program that you are qualified for. Then I can answer all your questions based on that particular program. Because
Okay.
generally I cannot answer a general answer for everything. Huh? You understand that?
Yeah. Yeah. Got you. Okay.
Okay. So I have
Okay.
provided my WhatsApp number.
Yeah.
Or
I will text you. Yeah,
yeah,
I will text
text
you.
me and then we'll have a chat as long as you want.
Perfect. Amazing.
Okay.
Thank you so much, Mr. Zia.
Okay. So again, I will emphasize we are not here to grab your money or lure you into any program. We will explain everything and we'll see if you are qualified. Then we will proceed further. Okay.
Okay.
Okay, guys. Thank you very much for joining. And
I
yeah,
just have one more question.
yeah.
Sorry.
Mm-hmm.
In case I want to start a business there,
Mm-hmm.
okay,
Mm-hmm.
but I don't want to live there. I just want to have the business there,
Mm-hmm.
and like I can, if I can, operate remotely. So will I get the PR or no? I have to move there to work
I
in
would
the
have the
Canada.
same answer that I provided to Hajar because
Okay,
every program has too many factors. So if I try to answer more than 100 programs answer in one answer, it's not possible. So, and I don't want to misguide you. Okay. So once
clear,
we have a
clear.
chat, individual chat, we will narrow down to the program that most interests you and then answer all your question based on that program.
Sure. Okay.
Okay. So I'm
Yeah.
looking forward to having a chat, individual chat with all of you. Okay.
Sure. Sure. Sure.
Okay. Okay, guys.
Okay.
Thank you. Thank you very
Thank
much.
you.
I
Thank
Thank you
hope
for
you
you.
the session.
enjoyed the presentation today.
Yeah, it was good. It was good. Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Oh, okay. Thank you very much and have a nice day.
Thank you. Bye bye.